Hey folks, I'm coming to you from not my studio, but I feel like this is a little more intimate. We can get close and I'll get to talk about some cool stuff. So this will be a little more of an informal discussion, but it's a topic that I find pretty interesting. And that's these Hillary Clinton fanatics. And why do they still exist? So I'm going to get into that, kind of. I'm not sure if we're going to get to a real conclusion here, but theoutline.com has a great article that breaks down two of these Hillary fanatics and then kind of sums up the sort of movement and what it's about. And I'm going to conclude here at the end of this video just comparing this Hillary Clinton support base or movement, if you want to call it a movement, versus the Bernie Sanders progressive movement, and really where the differences are. So I want to start first with this person that the outline highlights, which is Adam Parkhomenko. So I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but let me just go into a little detail of who Adam Parkhomenko is. So Adam Parkhomenko, the 31-year-old executive director of Hillary's 2016 super PAC, has worked under the Clintons nearly half his life. At age 17, he impressed Hillary with votehillary.org, his effort to draft her for the 2004 election, and she hired him for her Senate re-election campaign. So I didn't know much about this guy before I read this article, but reading through a few of his tweets, he's a little on the nutty side. So this one really stands out. So this is a tweet from early this month. P.S. You seem to ignore the Russia support online for Bernie during the primaries. The guy's hiding something. Not sure I want to know what. So here's somebody who is insinuating that Bernie Sanders is being paid by the Russians, is somehow a Russian agent and involved and was involved in pushing Donald Trump, I guess, for president, even though Bernie Sanders endorsed Hillary Clinton, even though Bernie Sanders talked about how there needs to be an independent investigation into possible Russian ties between the Russian government and Donald Trump, even though Bernie Sanders has been pushing the same progressive policies his entire career, yet somehow Bernie is involved with Russia. And that's why he ran. And that's why he knew he was going to gain so much support, and why the media was so sure at the beginning of Bernie's campaign that he was going to be a real competitor against Hillary Clinton. You know that's not true. No one expected Bernie to do as well as he did. I don't think Bernie himself expected to do as well as he did. But he had a real progressive message that caught on. And that's why he became popular. There was nothing to do with Russia. Russia is not the reason that Bernie became popular. Bernie was clearly not tied in with the Russian government. So already you're seeing these sorts of ideas where there is this coalition to try and take Hillary Clinton down. It's all about Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton being the victim, and everyone else being against her. That's a common theme you see through all of these high-profile Hillary supporters that are still tweeting about this crap to this day. Now, this other tweet from Adam Parkhomenko, this one is just funny, and it's a little sad. So if someone else had tweeted this, I would just think, oh, they're just joking, whatever, it's not a big deal. But knowing who this guy is and his unwavering support of Hillary Clinton and his conspiracy theories around Bernie Sanders, this tweet held some more weight. So he tweeted this video.
This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song.
Hillary Clinton's fight song. This is almost a year after she lost. But he hears the song on the radio, and he thinks it's important enough to record it and tweet it out in a non-joking way, in a serious way, as it reminds him of Hillary Clinton's book tour. So this is there are elements of these sorts of supporters that if you saw this in another country, like, say, Russia, where people had unwavering support of Putin, you would think these people are likely being paid. Because why would they have this sort of unwavering support for one particular person? That's extremely powerful. And I'm not saying he's getting paid. I'm not saying these supporters are getting paid in any way. But they benefit from this. So another common theme that's sort of within this article is that these high-profile Hillary supporters were guaranteed jobs in the Hillary Clinton campaign. And they ultimately didn't get a job because she didn't win. So it's like they're almost now stuck on that. And because they didn't get that job, they're even more pissed off and angry at anyone who, in their mind, wronged Hillary Clinton, even if they didn't, because they're just bitter. They don't have that job that they were promised. Now, the next person I'm going to talk about here that the article goes into is Peter Daou. So if you're on Twitter and you're in these progressive political discussions, you likely know who Peter Daou is. Peter Daou constantly berates Bernie Sanders for no apparent reason, and progressives, and progressive policy, and never really brings anything to the table in terms of policy discussions. And, for example, why Medicare for all is bad, or what his perfect idea of healthcare is. So, Peter Daou is another one of these people who he's a propagandist. So I'm going to show you an example here, but first, let me just go into a little deeper into who Peter Daou is. So, Peter Daou actually led Hillary Clinton's digital operations in 2008, and that appears to be where his connection to Hillary Clinton began, or at least culminated into an actual position, and led him to be one of these high-profile Hillary supporters. So the article mentions, last week he launched the self-funded website Verit, a repository of quotes aimed at boosting Hillary's image. The Washington Post wrote that Verit has taken all the worst parts of today's liberalism and turned them into a website. Politico called it a propaganda rag so shameless it would make Kim Jong-un blush. So I don't want to go too deep into Verit and really explain this website. It's a propagandist website. So it's a website where there are these facts that are posted, these facts that are posted on the website to create this image that Hillary Clinton and centrism and that sort of political way forward is the way to go for the Democratic Party and the way for the country in general. So I'll give you, but it doesn't really go too deep into actual policy. It's more about defending Hillary Clinton. So let me give you an example of a Peter Daou tweet and what you really expect from this sort of Hillary Clinton diehard supporter. Verit is necessary because if you're still with her, you endure constant harassment and bullying from the radical right and fringe left. So the funny thing about this tweet is that the fringe left, who he would consider the Bernie supporters, is the majority of the left. Bernie Sanders, I say this in almost every video, but it has to be mentioned every time I bring up an idiot like this. Bernie Sanders is the most popular politician in the country. The vast majority of Democrats support Bernie Sanders. He's the most popular political figure for Democrats, even though he's not a Democrat himself. He's an independent. But that doesn't matter. Bernie Sanders is the most popular politician. But people like Peter Daou like to call them the fringe. They're the fringe. And he's still with her. Why? Why is he still with her? Hillary Clinton has said that she's not running again. So, what is the point of being still with her? She lost. The election's over. So, being still with her, I don't understand. So this is where we get into the territory of who is this benefiting? Now, I could see it as a way for him to try to prop up his own website, Verit, but how big is that audience, really? People that are still enthralled with Hillary Clinton. I mean, essentially we're talking about fans of a celebrity at this point, because we're not talking about somebody who's talking about politics. Hillary Clinton is not touring the country discussing how the Democrats or politics need to be focusing on Medicare for all, or really forget the progressive policy. Hillary Clinton is not touring the country discussing policy at all. She's discussing herself. She's discussing everyone that wronged her in her mind in the election. So it's all about the celebrity around Hillary Clinton. It's not about politics. It's funny that there are people like this, and not even just Peter Daou, who, you know, at least has money involved and has a reason to financially continue this, but the actual supporters, the ones that are below him, that push this narrative. Because how are they benefiting? It's not about policy at all. It's about celebrity. They like Hillary Clinton, the celebrity, and I don't think a lot of them even realize that that's what it is. But that is what it is. And another tweet here, which shows even more Peter Daou and his I don't even know how to put it, just unstable mind. Fact: people are still terrified of Hillary. People still want to destroy Hillary. People want to silence anyone who supports her. So, again, we're talking about the election's over. It's over. So, why are people supporting her? I mean, you want to support her? Go right ahead. But why? What's it for? To sell her books? So this is and the fact that this tweet is all written in caps is also kind of funny. And I don't know. It's just it shows you this is what Peter Daou is focused on. Hillary, defending Hillary. People are terrified of Hillary. People want to destroy Hillary. People want to silence Hillary. That's what this is about. It's not about policy. It's not about a way forward for the country. It's about Hillary, the celebrity. So there's this other point that the article mentions that I want to read off here. For this set of ride-or-die Clinton fans, the entirely valid notion that relitigating the 2016 primary for 3 months and increasing the media presence of a deeply unpopular figure might hurt the Democrats is irrelevant to the more important goal, personal catharsis. And that's exactly right. So the 3 months that are mentioned here is Hillary Clinton's book tour. So for the next 3 months, Hillary Clinton is on a book tour, and she's discussing how she was wronged. And you know what? I get it. If she wants to do that, fine. It's your life. It's your book. It's your view of what happened, even though I've already discussed many lies that are scattered throughout some of the pieces in that book. But if she wants to do that, cool. Do it. But then don't turn around and act like you're fighting for policy or that you're fighting Donald Trump. Because what she's doing, all she's doing is dividing progressives from the Democratic Party. And progressives are, by the way, the majority of the Democratic Party. And a lot of them don't vote. And that's the problem. So you get someone like Hillary Clinton who doesn't bring out those progressives. And then you lose elections. You keep losing elections because the Democrats keep running centrist, moderate, corporate candidates. If you ran actual progressives, you would start winning elections. But people are staying home. The Democratic Party, the base, is staying home. You want to get those people out and voting. And the proof is in the polling. With Bernie Sanders being the most popular politician, the proof is there. Elizabeth Warren being the second most popular politician. So when you have these people who are actually openly progressive and pushing policy, and I know Warren's not perfect, I don't want to get into that now, but that's the persona that she has. That she is this progressive politician, and in many ways she is. She is way more than the majority of Congress. So when you have these politicians pulling at those sorts of numbers, yet you don't put up a candidate like that when you're running, whether it's in state elections, whether it's a national, then you can't expect to bring out the base and actually win. And here is where the difference between these Hillary Clinton supporters and the Bernie / I would say just the progressive wing is. These Hillary supporters are focused on Hillary and her life and the fact that she lost and the people that did her wrong, instead of looking at what she may have done wrong that lost her the election. Whereas the Bernie / progressive wing, they're not focused on Bernie. I know a lot of you that aren't Bernie supporters may think that, but we're not focused on Bernie. We're focused on progressive policy. Bernie is just a symbol of that. He's a symbol of that type of person who he's fought for progressive policy his entire life. So that's why he acts as a good symbol for that movement. But he's not the movement. The movement is the people. The movement are the policies. The policies that are being pushed forward that we believe will create a more equal and just society. Now, if the Hillary supporters wanted to discuss policy and why they believe in neoliberalism and these centrist moderate positions, cool. Let's have that debate. Let's have that debate of progressive policy versus neoliberal policy. You want to have that debate? Good. But that's not what it is. The debate right now is just defending Hillary Clinton. There's nothing more to it. So it really comes down to substance. The progressive movement is about substance. The Hillary Clinton supporters are about defending Hillary Clinton. And that's as far as it goes.